What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to the Notorious HFL Podcast. I'm your host, the Notorious HFL on the podcast. Huge fat loser on all social media platforms. And as you know, Aaron Lohman in real life. Remember, the opinions and thoughts in this podcast are my opinions and my opinions alone, not the opinions of my employer or anybody else for that matter. Welcome back to the studio. I know it's been a while. If you haven't seen the new digs and you're watching this and not just listening to it, this is it. This is the new spot. It's in my basement. There's a spot across from me to have people live, and I also plan on having more guests via Zoom. You know, I prefer a live podcast with two people talking across from each other. It just makes better chemistry, and sometimes when people don't have a good microphone or people tune out. You know, I'm one of those people. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Sometimes you hear those Zoom podcasts or even watching clips. It's not as impactful. It's not as powerful as two people sitting across from each other with some decent audio quality, some decent video quality. And my stupidity and my selfishness, and I just really, I wanted to bring that here. But at the same point, this is my house. This is my home. I am not a rich person. Not yet, anyway. Not support. All right. Throw out the support. I would appreciate it. All I'm trying to do is do good things. But I am not. This is my basement. I live here. This is my house. I have to have people in and out all the time. And like I said, this house is lived in. This is where we live. And, to have people here in this small space and get it done and schedule things, especially doing all the projects that I currently do, even working where I work and the hours that I work, it's difficult to schedule, to have people in here at a certain time. I always have things going on. But selfishly, what I wanted to do is hey, I'm not going to do it unless I can have people in the studio, because I was frowning away from the Zoom podcasts and whatnot. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to go back to that route where I am talking to people through the internet and interviewing people from the internet. I plan on having at least one podcast a week, whether it be by myself. Maybe it'll be a bonus podcast here and there. This is season 4 now. Every season's been evolving, slow build. I put out a couple episodes here and there and, drop a season here. But I really just want to keep this more consistent, keep it going, because there's always something to talk about. And it's my fault for not scheduling it and doing what I wanted to do, because we all get busy. We all have problems. We all have things going on. But if I would have actually scheduled it and set a time to actually do this, we would be able to get it done. We'd be able to do it. So that's the update. What's been going on in my life this past year or so? I would say a lot. I have, like I said, I have a lot going on. I got promoted this year, which was a huge honor, to a rank. For those of you listening, it's called Sergeant Special Assignment. Essentially what it is it's lieutenant's pay. You get paid lieutenant's pay, but you get to, keep you're still a sergeant. I get to keep my same days off. I get to keep my schedule. And most importantly, for me, I get to keep doing what I'm doing, which is what I love, helping cops with their mental and physical health and doing all that type of stuff. And that's really my passion. I think anybody who listens to this podcast really knows that is definitely my passion. And I don't really want to do anything else. So if I'm on the lieutenant's list, if I got promoted to lieutenant, I'd be put back in a command, and I'd be doing God knows what. And listen, I don't care about doing that. I welcome the police work. Is it more difficult? Yeah, absolutely. It's more difficult, but I've never been the type of person to shy away from police work or doing things or doing the difficult things out on the street. It's just I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy speaking to people out there who are going through things that I went through and helping them out, whether it be physical fitness, nutrition, all that stuff. So that happened. I actually got promoted while I was in Jamaica. I was on a cruise. I was on a Disney cruise, and it was something that I never thought would happen in a million years. Like I said, it's usually something reserved for people who know people and or politically connected. Both of these things I'm not. I know people may see social media and they see me talking with these people and having conversations, And yeah, I always have these conversations, but a lot of these times that I'm having these conversations with people up high in the department, I'm saying things that a lot of people don't want to hear, including them, and I'm making them uncomfortable. So it's not like I'm palling around and we're best friends. It's like I'm there to have these hard conversations that a lot of people don't want to have, because I want to be able to have a seat at the table with the people who run not only my organization, but the people who run organizations all over the country, the world, about mental health, about taking care of yourself, about putting yourself first, about making yourself a priority, all these things, and how they can do, how they can help us. And that's why I'm with these people. But I never thought in a million years I wasn't the type of people who really was friends with these people. I didn't know these people. I wasn't connected like that. I never worked for any of them. So when I got a text message, I was literally taking a nap in Jamaica. I was on a cruise, Disney cruise. Disney, send the check. All right. I was on a cruise. I had seen, because I had the Wi-Fi package, because I'm on social media all the time and I like to check my DMs. And believe it or not, it's not just the reason I have that. People are like, oh, disconnect, all that other stuff. I enjoy talking to all of you. I enjoy communicating with you. Same reason I do this podcast. I enjoy sharing my thoughts with you. I enjoy getting your feedback. I enjoy that stuff. So I have the Wi-Fi package so I could keep in touch with people and listen, so I could post things. I enjoy posting things. I enjoy showing people what I'm doing, encouraging other people to do the same thing. Encourage people to go on vacation with their kids, to have fun, to be a good parent, to work out on vacation. I love all this stuff. It's not an inconvenience to me to have my phone with me on vacation. I barely am on it. And when I am on it, it's literally post and ghost, or maybe answer a couple DMs, couple questions, etc. So I had it. We just got back off the island of Jamaica, which is beautiful, by the way. If you have never been to Jamaica, I highly suggest going to Jamaica. The water was crystal clear. We spent time with the dolphins, drank some Red Stripe, ate some jerk chicken, had a great time, got back to the boat. As soon as I sat back on the boat, we went up to the dining, like the buffet area. My son wanted ice cream, or my daughter, one of them wanted ice cream. I sat at the table, and I just opened up my phone, and it was it was on Instagram, and it was from one of the promotional websites, whether it be The Key or Elite Strategic, one of the testing companies that helps people study for the promotional exams. And it said, "Oh, congratulations on all the people being promoted." So I was like, "Oh, that's cool. People got promoted." And then I went upstairs. We were going to take a nap. I actually laid down for about, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes or so. Just about to fall asleep, and I get a text from an old partner of mine. He's like, "Yo, dude, congratulations, Hammer. I can't believe it." And I said to him, "Congratulations on what?" Now, because in my mind, I had seen the promotions came down hours ago. So hours ago, promotions came down. So when he said, "Congratulations on getting promoted," I genuinely thought that he was messing with me. I did not think that he was telling the truth. And then I was like, what? And then the other messages just started flowing in. And I genuinely, I had to have somebody send me the screenshot of the email because I didn't believe it. I still, even until I got off that boat, until I crossed that stage, until I got back to, New York, I really didn't believe it because I never thought it would happen. And it's not something I really genuinely ever thought that I even deserved to have. I'm grateful for it, but at the same point, I know that there's a lot of other people out there who are fighting for recognition, who are not getting it, and I think that I hope that they get it too. That's all I'm going to say. But so when it came down, I was like, "This is the craziest thing ever." I'm in Jamaica, and now I can't make my promotion. Now, happiness starts, but then if you work in this job, you work in law enforcement, or if you've been jammed up or anything before, automatically that happiness switches immediately over to full-blown panic mode. You're like, "I'm in Jamaica. I can't make it. Am I going to get promoted? Are they going to be able to promote? Am I still going to be promoted even though I'm on vacation? This is crazy." I remember reaching out to my boss, my CEO, who's the man, and I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm not going to be there. What's going to happen? Am I still going to get promoted?" And, of course, he laughs at me, like, about me overreacting. He's like, "Of course you're going to get promoted. Just you're going to cross the stage when you get back." And that's a whole other story in between. I was actually the very, very last person that was promoted under the Commissioner Caban regime. The very last person, because what happened was the original promotions come down, and then some people get added to the addendum. These are like additional people who are going to get promoted that were not included in the original promotional list. And I was the last one by myself on a message saying, Sergeant Lohman, promoted to Sergeant Special Assignment. I was the very last one to go out under his regime. Then the next time promotions came around, we had a new police commissioner. It was the first promotions, and they didn't want to promote any discretionary promotions. Now, even though I had already officially been promoted, like technically, like officially, like whether it be like rank wise in the computer, salary, etc. I didn't have a ceremony, so they told me, okay, you can get to walk at the next one. But since I already been promoted, it's a discretionary rank. They wouldn't let me cross the stage because there was no other sergeant special assignments or other discretionary ranks being promoted. So then I had to wait till the next month. The next month promotions came down, and I wasn't even notified right away to go to promotions. I was notified literally less than 24 hours before or so, maybe like 36 hours before, that I was going to be participating in that promotion ceremony, to the point where at that point my wife couldn't even come. My kids had school. I was kind of just out there by myself. My unit and other people came to support me, so I appreciate it. But it just didn't have the same, wow luster that it did. I mean, listen, it felt great. It felt great to get promoted, and I appreciate it so much. It was just like getting pushed back. It's one of those situations where because it keeps getting pushed back, it just doesn't feel real. And when you finally cross that stage, it does feel real. It feels like you actually did it, and it felt good. So that's my story behind my promotion. I did a lot of good things this summer. Hung out Wildwood, New Jersey, as always. I love myself some Wildwood, New Jersey. Max Pizza, Sam's Pizza, biggest debate out in Wildwood, New Jersey. Which one's the best? I don't know. What's funny is I flip-flop it. We flip-flop it every time. We always eat both, because you know me. I love my pizza. First of all, both of them aren't that great. There's a lot of better pizza places out by me in New York. But when in Wildwood, you got to indulge in both of them. You got to try them both out. But the verdict is out because each time I go, I flip-flop. One time it's Sam's, one time it's Max. I think it's whichever one I have when I'm hungrier. That is the one that wins over for that trip. If you've never been to Wildwood, please check it out. It's a good time. It's like transporting back into the 1960s beach towns. They sing the national anthem at 11 a.m. every Sunday. It's not every Sunday, every day on the boardwalk, and it's a good time if you've never been there. Let's see. What else? What else has been going on in my life? I have something coming out soon. I have a new product coming out with Diesel's Kitchen. We started Diesel's Kitchen. And what Diesel's Kitchen is, it's a new social media page, new website. We're going to be selling different products to help people who are on a fitness journey or things that I think are cool, recipes that I think are cool, videos about cooking, and highlighting local restaurants that make good food. And it's just something I've always been interested in. We named it after my dog that died because, listen, that dog, Diesel was his name. He used to eat absolutely everything you can imagine. He was a food hound. So I said, if I'm going to name something food-related after somebody, I'm going to name it after Diesel. So we named it Diesel's Kitchen. Not only that, Diesel's a pretty awesome name. So Diesel's Kitchen, just be on the lookout. We're releasing a product coming up in January. After much delay, I know I've been talking about it probably since, September, October. But we had some permitting issues, some licensing stuff, and, with the state and having this come out. So just be on the lookout for these products. You will be excited by them. I guarantee it. There's nothing out there like this on the market that's out there at all. And I think that if you try them, you will absolutely love them. All right, so the first product should be coming out this year. The next thing that I have coming out, which starts January 13th, if you haven't seen my advertisement, you haven't seen my flyer, what it is a full immersive HFL 62 course. Now, I already have my regular course, which is the self-guided one, which you pay for it. and you can do it on your own. What the difference is, this one is fully immersive. You get a consultation, like a virtual video from me with your personalized macros and everything you should be eating. You get the HFL 62 workbook, which you get to keep track of all your goals and make sure you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. You get the online course, which is video modules explaining things about the fitness industry, about what to look out for, how to read a nutrition label, the differences between macros, just to name a few things. Exercise, the importance of building muscle, the importance of muscle, the supplementation, all these things that are sometimes difficult to find out information about, especially with the clouded social media space that there is. The next, and there's so much more involved in this course. You get access to my Facebook group. You get unlimited text messaging access to me for help. And it's just going to be a good program. And it's I think that if you start this program, you will see improvements. And it's for beginners. It's not for the bodybuilder. It's not for the person who knows about exercising or working out. It's for the person who's genuinely just starting out or hasn't worked out in a really long time, and they don't know where to begin. Because I feel whenever I see on social media, online, where they're like, oh, check out my beginner exercise program. It's like, oh, let's start with a 5-minute plank. Like, dude, no, that's not what a beginner looks like. They're quite often just forgotten. And, this group of people, we really need to do a better job at dealing with these people and like helping these people out, because they genuinely don't know what it is that they're doing, and they rely on, unfortunately, a lot of the wrong people. They see social media and they get confused, and then they wind up quitting, or they start out at level 100 and then they wind up quitting, and then we don't want that. We want these people to stick with the program. We want them to keep going. We want them to learn about themselves. We want them to learn a knowledge base of what exercise looks like, what these exercises are. So this way, in the future, then they can go and they could, try things out on their own. They learn enough where maybe they want to join a gym. Maybe they start a better at-home gym. Maybe they do something else. Maybe they like the calisthenic portion, so they learn how to do more calisthenics. And that's what it's about. So if you're interested in that, please, it starts January 13th. Hop on the bandwagon. It's sure to sell out fast. Other than that, I've just been participating in certain events, doing more public speaking to agencies around the country, around New York, where I just want to talk about things that matter. The health, your health, your mental health. These are the things that truly matter. And when we talk about these things, specifically in law enforcement, because that's the main group of people that I talk to, is people in law enforcement organizations, is that I want to impart that, you have to take care of yourself. There's realistically nobody coming to save you but you. You are the person who has to make those decisions. And that literally leads me into something I want to talk about for the end of the year, and that is, suicide. Suicide, law enforcement, mental health. Right now, we had 3 suicides in my agency in the last couple weeks, and I can tell you this right now: every single one of them is completely different. And what pisses me off a lot of the times is I'll go on social media, or I will hear people talking, and they'll say, oh my God, the job, look what the job is doing to us. Look what the job did to them. Yo, you have no fucking idea what they were going through, and you have no idea if the job was even remotely a cause of it. But what I do know is that you don't like the job, and you blame the job for every single one of your problems and the way that you act and the way that you behave. So now that you see somebody else suffering for whatever reason, you jump on the bandwagon and goes, see, look at this. Look what the job did to this guy. This is why I am the way I am. This is why I'm so miserable. This is why I hate the job so much. Meanwhile, you have no idea what this person was even going through. You have no idea what even was going on. at all. All right, and then you turn around. A lot of you pretend to care, and you make these posts about, I'll talk to you. I love you. Just know, I'll reach out. Bullshit, dude. I know you. Okay, I've seen you. I've seen the way you talk to people. I've seen the way you talk to your fellow cops. A lot of you. I see the way you talk behind their back. I've seen you talk shit. I've seen it. The same people throwing up that thin blue line nonsense. Yeah, the reason nobody reaches out to you is because you're a fucking bullshit artist, and they know the type of person that you really are on the inside, not some Instagram post bullshit, who you really are. And a lot of you are like this. You only care to the point where it affects you. That's it. And everything else is just some virtue signaling nonsense. Reach out to me. Dude, nobody's reaching out to you because you're a dick. You're a dick. Nobody wants to talk to you because you just called somebody else an EDP. You just called somebody else a scammer. You just called somebody else a nut job. And that's what. They see that. They don't want to reach out to you. It doesn't matter how long you've been friends. They know how you treat people. And that's what they think that you're gonna treat them like. And that's the God's honest truth. People are a lot less afraid of the job than they are of being judged by the people who sit next to them. Because we have our identities so intertwined into what we do for work that some of us really look at this like it's their family, which is a mistake in some regards because we're not. Okay, we're coworkers. Yes, we see traumatic incidents. We have this trauma bonding experience. And sometimes the trauma is just how shitty the job is. And I'm not one of those people who's going to tell you, oh, the job is sunshine and rainbows. It's so good. Everything's good. No, I'm not going to tell you that. Okay, the job sucks. But we have to acknowledge that the job sucks. And we have to start taking care of ourselves and each other in a way better way than we've been doing. What we do is, oh, look, it's another police funeral. I can't believe so-and-so died by whatever means, whether it be homicide or suicide. Let's all line up in the street, give this salute, pretend that we care. But the second that shit is over, you're back to talking shit about each other, back to dropping dimes on each other, back to making Instagram posts about each other, back to the comment section, calling this one a scammer, this one a piece of shit, this one a this one a whatever. It's you. It's the same people, okay? So you can put up this front like you give a fuck about anything, but the truth is a lot of you don't. A lot of you love to parade around and pretend like you're part of this thin blue line brotherhood or sisterhood, but you're not. You're part of the biggest problem with this job, and one of the biggest problems with this job is not the job itself, it's the culture that surrounds it. It's the things that we do to each other and ourselves every single fucking day, okay? The job is not your mom. It's not going to force you to go seek mental health counseling. It's not going to force you, to not eat cheeseburgers. It's not going to follow you around and smack a cheeseburger out of your hand, like I always say. You have to take accountability for yourself. And unfortunately, the people that we surround ourselves with in the culture of this job are miserable fucking people who use the job as a scapegoat. And because we see them use the job as a scapegoat for all of their problems in their life, we then develop that internally as a culture. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. Oh, I got divorced because of the job. I'm miserable because of the job. I'm overweight because of the job. No, the job did not cause you to eat 7,000 calories a day. The job did not cause you to go out drinking every night. The job did not cause you to cheat on your spouse multiple fucking times. Okay? The job did not cause you to never see your kids when you were off. Because a lot of people do that. They say, oh, I can't see my kids. I can't see my wife. I can't do this because I'm working all the time. Yeah, but then when you do have off, you don't fucking see them either. Okay? Let's call it what it is. And we've all seen it. We all know those people where they get that one day off. And what are they doing with that day off? They're going out with the boys. They're blowing off steam, so to call it. Well, then you're a shitty parent. If that's what you're doing, then you're a shitty parent. If you're using time, the little time that you do have to not see your family, then you're a piece of shit, man. You're a bad parent. You're a bad husband. You're not fulfilling your responsibilities at home. So what would you expect somebody to do in your wife's situation or your husband's situation? Would you expect them to stay around for somebody who is obviously signaling out there through actions, not words? You could tell them you love them all you want, but your actions say something completely different. Your actions say, oh, yeah, you say verbally, oh, I love you. But do you? Do you actually love them? Do you actually care about them? If you are going out every single night that you have off, on those few nights that you have off, and you're going out drinking, you're not spending time with your family, you're not spending time with your wife, what type of message do you think that you're sending to them? I can tell you the exact type of message you're sending to them because I talk to these people all the time, and they tell me they're prioritizing the people from work. And that's not something that the job does. That's something that you do. That's something that we do. We are the ones who make those decisions. Nothing happened in your life that caused you to act in a certain way. We love to pretend like the job causes us to do these things, but then how come some people do it and some people don't? There was a long time in my life where I was convinced that the job was the root of all my fucking problems. The reason I was so mentally unwell was because of the job. The reason I was so overweight was because of the job. The reason I had so many problems was because of the job. Fucking bullshit. The reason I was so miserable and had such a bad attitude was because of the job. No fucking way. You know why I was miserable? Because I was an asshole. Because I was treating myself like shit. I was treating other people around me like shit. But what happened was the scapegoat that is the job allowed me to blame every single problem that I had on it. And most of the people, because of the culture that we have, allowed me to use that as an excuse because they were also using it as an excuse. They would tell me that it's okay that you feel this way. The job does this to all of us. Bullshit. The job does not do this to us. We do it to us. We are the ones who make the choices every single day, whether we're going to give in to the negativity and the bullshit that we can't control in this job or not. And most of us take it every single day. We will take that excuse. And the worst part about it is not only do we have our coworkers sucking us into this, this mindset that the job is the problem and we are perfect, we have the public doing it too. We surround ourselves with people, police supporters, quote unquote, who love to kiss our ass and tell us that we're perfect and we have no problems. This back the blue at all costs mentality, which is also fucking bullshit. Okay, and what we do, isolationist behavior in law enforcement, what we love to do is anybody who gives us a hard time, anybody who's like, dude, what you just did was fucked up, we don't talk to them anymore. You're just an anti-police person. You just hate the cops. No, dude, you deserve to be called out for your behavior sometimes. You do shitty things sometimes, and you should be held accountable. But there's nothing that cops hate worse than fucking accountability, man. This is why when certain individuals speak about mental health and stuff, some people tune us out. They don't want to hear us because we do not coddle you the way you want to be coddled and the way that police supporters and other people love to coddle you and tell you that things are not your fault. Guess what? Things are your fault, and you need to start recognizing that and changing those behaviors. Otherwise, you're going to go down a downward spiral of behavior, and you're going to have not many options left. And unfortunately, I've seen way too many people in this department, in this agency, in this country, go down that road and never fucking come back. Friends of mine who have gone down that road and never come back. And it was choices that they made that ultimately made that decision for them. So we could all pretend and play this game that, oh, it's not our fault, the job does this to us. Bullshit. It's not true. Okay, do we see traumatic incidents and are things fucked up and does the job suck sometimes? Yes, it does. And those things do happen. But at the end of the day, we already know that. And if we know that is going to happen and that's happening currently right now, then we have to seek out resources to help alleviate and blow off that pressure. And that's not drinking. That's not, drinking 5 Bang energy drinks a day. That's finding positive things. Okay, not cheating on our spouses, not all this nonsense, garbage, self-destructive behavior. We have to find things that actually fucking help us, like going to the gym, taking martial arts, spending time with our children, going for a walk, yoga. I can come up with a million things. Religion, going to church. There's a million positive coping mechanisms you could use in your life that could help you. But what we do is we seek the easiest route, and that easiest route is a route of self-destruction because in our culture, it's built into it, right? Every command, every precinct function, open bar, dude, I'll take 6 schlitzes, right? Yeah, it doesn't need to be like that. And the fact that it's like, hey kids, suck it up, go have some beer. No way. You got to talk to somebody. We know, ask anybody. This job is stressful. This job sucks. Every recruit coming out of the academy, every new hire, they know that this job is going to suck. It's going to be stressful. We literally beat it into their heads. This is going to suck. It's going to be stressful. The overtime's going to suck, blah, blah, blah. We know it. We knew it when we got on this job, right? Nothing is changing. Nothing has changed. So The only thing that we can do for ourselves is make sure that we have positive things available to help us out. And stop giving into the negativity, because the negative, bad coping mechanisms and negative attitude and all this shit is what leads us further down into that downward spiral. And that is 100% a choice that we make. We are allowing the job to be the thing that destroys us. Allowing it. And that's the biggest difference. We think culturally that the job is the thing that destroys us. No, it's the behaviors that we engage in because of what we're allowing the job to do to us. We're allowing it. And you have to set boundaries with yourself and tell yourself, I'm not going to do these things. I'm not going to go down this road. I've seen what happens to the people around me if they go down this road. And you've all seen it. Suicide, mental health issues, physical health issues, they all plague law enforcement. And we see it every single day. So you can't tell me that you don't know what it looks like and you don't know what you shouldn't be doing and what the outcomes are. You know what the outcomes are. You know what it looks like, and you know how to stop it. You have to stop it. Okay? You're better than that. Too far, too long, we have had this notion that nothing is our fault, that everybody else is to blame, that I can't seek therapy, I can't tell anybody about my problems. And listen, hey, maybe you still think that. Maybe you still think that the job is out to get you, and maybe they are in some certain regards. There's nothing stopping you from taking your insurance and going to seek a mental health counselor. There's nothing stopping you from doing that, and you don't have to tell anybody about it. There's nothing from stopping you to reaching out to a third-party organization that's outside the job to help you. There's literally a new organization to help police officers every single day with their mental and physical health popping up. There's so many now, I can't even keep track. And that's outside the job. So you want to tell me and blame the job for their lack of resources or whatever it is? That's fine. Let's say they don't have the resources that you want, even though I know from firsthand the NYPD has more resources than any other organization on literally planet Earth. That's Fortune 500 companies and first responder organizations. But let's say you say they don't have what you want. There's nothing stopping you from going out and getting what you want from one of these other organizations that are literally lining up around the fucking block to help you. But you know what? You don't, because it takes effort and self-reflection to tell yourself that you're fucking up and that you have a problem and that you need help. That's the step that's missing. You have to admit to yourself that you are fucking up, you're making mistakes, you're going down a road that you don't want to go down, and you want to fix that shit. And it's hard for you to admit that you're making mistakes, that you fucked up, and you want to fix that shit. But until you do that, until you have that moment of self-reflection, you are never going to fix yourself. You're never going to get help, and you're still going to keep spiraling down that downward spiral in the toilet. And I'm sorry, that's a hard conversation for you to have, maybe, but it's the goddamn truth. And the other thing I want to talk about is, you know, I've been working where I'm working for the last 4 years, and even before that I've been helping people with their mental health, is every single one of these things always starts like this. Oh my God, it came out of nowhere. I didn't see any signs. Bullshit. Maybe you didn't see any signs, but I guarantee you every single time, because as we start talking to people and having these conversations, the things that were happening in this person's life, we did recognize, but because our internal culture is so fucked up that the things that we see, we just are like, that's normal. No, he cheated on his wife like 4 times, but you know that's what we do. No, that's not what we do. That's not what people do. Yeah, bro, he was drinking every night, but who cares? A lot of people drink. No, they fucking don't drink every night. They shouldn't be drinking every night. Okay? Oh, yeah, you know, he is angry all the time, but what cop's not angry? People should not be fucking angry all the time. And believe it or not, people think that sadness is the number one sign of depression, especially in men. It's anger, because we're taught not to be sad. So what do? We automatically pop off and get twice as mad at ourselves for even feeling sad in the first place. So now we're doubly angry. And we know a lot of angry cops, don't we, right? Of course we do. All right, all these behaviors are not normal. But when we see them, it's so ingrained in our culture that it is what it is, and this is how we are, that we can't recognize those signs because those signs are so present in so many people, okay? That's why you have to watch out for these people. And I've heard other stories many times about how, yeah, you know, XYZ happened to this person, and this person was doing XYZ, but, it wasn't my place to say anything. I didn't want to say, well, now the person is dead because you were uncomfortable and you didn't want to say anything. I'm glad you feel nice and comfortable not saying anything, and that made you feel comfortable, but now your friend is no longer here because it wasn't your place. How does that make you feel? And you'd be like, oh, it wasn't my fault. But you know what? We have to take some level of accountability and actually start having those difficult conversations with people instead of shying away from it. I don't want to offend them. Who cares? I would rather somebody be pissed off at me for the rest of their life and never talk to me again as long as they were alive. As long as they were alive, I could eat that. And so should you. You should be willing. If these people are really your family, your thin blue family, whatever the fuck you want to call them in this bullshit sheepdog world, okay, then you would be willing to have those conversations if you really gave a shit. But the truth is, a lot of you don't. A lot of you don't care. A lot of you, like I said before, only care as far as it doesn't or does affect you. If it doesn't affect you, or you could somehow get out of it or feel more comfortable about yourself. I know so many people out there, they talk about this mental health and these details are affecting overtime. Yeah, they're the same people out there stabbing each other in the back so they don't have to get said details to help another cop out, right? You'll see that one person running around the precinct. They have a serious event going on a Friday or Saturday night, asking at least one person in the whole entire command to take this detail from them so they can go to this event and actually do something with their life. And not a single fucking person is being like, hey, man, you know what? I got you. Because I'm going to tell you this shit right now. In commands that I've worked in, I've seen cops that bend over backwards for other cops, and that's what it's really about. Oh, but we're already taxed to the max. We can't help somebody out. Yes, you can. You can always help somebody out. And to the bosses out there, you could help your people out too. That's what real leadership is. But I'll get in trouble. I'll get yelled at. If you are scared to get yelled at on this job or in life, you shouldn't have taken the fucking promotional exam. Okay, you shouldn't have taken it. Okay, that's what being part of a boss and being part of a leader is. You're going to get yelled at for your people and for the decisions that you make, but as long as you make them from here, I will take it on the chest every single time, because that's the decision that I made, and I made the decision for my people. But there's too many people out there who take the promotion exam just to get a pay raise, just to get an extra couple dollars in their paycheck, and are cowards. They're cowards. They don't stick up for their people, and that's not what leadership is. The job needs more people who are going to stick their neck out for the people underneath them, who are going to look out for them, who are going to make sure they get the days off that they can, within reason, obviously, but they're going to make sure that they get those things. But there's so many people out there who micromanage the fuck out of the people that work for them that they make it a million times worse. And before you come at me with I'm just a sergeant, what can I do? You can do a lot. And how I learned that was because I had both good and bad sergeants, good and bad first-level supervisors as a cop, and I didn't realize what the difference was until I got promoted. Then when I got promoted and I realized it was like the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. Finally, I saw what the reality of the job was and what the reality of a frontline supervisor could actually do for you. And I realized that the bosses that I had who were shitty were lying the entire time about things that they could do and things that they couldn't, just so they didn't have to have an uncomfortable conversation with the lieutenant, with the captain, whoever. All right? Maybe not even that. Maybe just even a hypothetical situation. Oh, if I do this, then there's a possibility that the captain will talk to me or the lieutenant. Meanwhile, nothing ever happened. Nothing was even discussed yet. But the mere possibility of somebody being upset with you makes you cower down in a corner. Then you shouldn't have taken the fucking promotional exam. I'm sorry. All right, if you're afraid of getting yelled at, then you should not be a leader on this job, or any job for that matter. You should not be a leader. End of story. Whew, I know that was a long rant. I was ranting and raving about that, but when it comes to mental health, when it comes to the perspective of people in this profession and in this department and things going on, it's what I do for a living. It's physical health, mental health. They're both my passions because I think they both greatly tie into each other. You know, for me, when I was depressed and miserable and over 425 pounds, as most of you who are listening know that, my mental health was fucked, okay? But controlling my physical health, whether it be working out, eating correctly, those were two things, because like I can't continuously say on here, there's many things that you can't control. a lot of things, especially in this career, you cannot control. And having that lack of sense of control is what leads to a myriad of mental health issues, not only in first responder culture, but everywhere. The less control you feel like you have, the less control that you know, in your career, the less control you feel like you have over your life. So when you control those little things, the things that you can control, like for me, it was what can I eat? What can I do with my body? All these things. And those two things, and what can I put in my brain is a huge one, okay? What are you consuming on social media? What are you consuming on television? What are you consuming in podcast land, on YouTube, whatever it might be, okay? Because a lot of those things take a drastic effect into how you feel about yourself, okay? Those three things you can control. You can 100% control what you eat, how you use your body, and what you put in your brain. And the second that you realize that you can control those three things, even if you can control nothing else, controlling those three things is an awesome starting point, and that is enough to be able to control. Because just controlling those three things alone will help you reframe your entire fucking life. As soon as you realize that you are in control of how you feel, you are in control of not how you feel, but what you think about how you feel, how you deal with those feelings, how you consume healthy things versus unhealthy things, what you put into your body, how you use your body. Once you realize that you're in control of those things, your whole entire universe, your whole entire world will change. Okay? You have to let a lot of shit go. And it's so common for people to just sit around and bitch about everything that's wrong. Dude, you know what? This sucks. That sucks. This is bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. How much of the stuff are they talking about that they can actually do something about? If you can't, then why even fucking talk about it, man? I don't even understand. Hey, maybe for 1 second, just to be like, hey, dude, you hear about that thing? Oh, yeah, dude, that sucks. Nothing I can do about it. Let me go back over here to this bench press. See you later. That's, seriously. I'll be in the gym sometimes. Some people want to talk to me about the job. I'll be like, oh, yeah, man, that sucks. Listen, I got to go hit this set real quick. All right, and I'm not being rude. I enjoy talking to people, but I'm not going to talk to you about what stresses me out or about that I can't control. I know that I can up my max on this bench press or try to up my max on this bench press to gain muscle and strength. I know that I can do that because it's possible, and I'm in control of it. I have no control over who the police commissioner is, so I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I have no control over who gets transferred in and out of where. I can't control that. I have no control over me getting transferred to Staten Island tomorrow. I have no control over that. But what I do have control over right now in the present moment is how I live my life right now, the present moment. Stop worrying so much about the future, about what's going to happen, the possibilities of things that are going to happen, and the things that happened in the past, because none of that shit matters. It's irrelevant. What's relevant is what's going on right now, in the present moment, in your life. What can you control right now, and what do you have to just forget about? Let go. Let it go till it happens. You know, too many of us wake up right in the morning. We immediately start that wheel of thoughts spinning in our head. Oh, man, what's going to happen? I'm going to get to work. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. All this shit. How much of it actually happens? Usually not fucking much of it. Maybe it's 1%, right? And then what we do is we see that 1%. You're like, aha, I was right. That 1%, I was right about that. So therefore, I'm right about everything. I am perfectly justified in being a miserable fuck because 1% of the negative thoughts that I predicted came true, even though it was just 1%. Meanwhile, the 99% of the other shit didn't even come true. It was totally made up, total bullshit. But here you are, relying on that 1% of the things that actually did happen, that came true. So now everything sucks, right? You have to really learn how to reframe your thoughts and realize what it is that you have control over and what it is that you don't. And you will hear me repeat this continuously on this podcast in life. Control what you can. Let go of what you can't. That's all that matters. Okay? We get too caught up on the bullshit. Okay? This is the last podcast, obviously, for the year. The first one in a long time. The first one in Season 4 going forward. I just want to say for anybody who's out there who is listening to this, who is actually going to start doing something on January 1st. Yeah, you. I see you. I see you. All right, all of you. Yo, do that shit. Okay? Make it happen. Do it for real this time. Make this year your year. Okay, I don't want to have the same conversation with the same people next year who said they were going to do it this year, that 2025 is going to be my year, and now it's turning into 2026 and you didn't do shit. There is no person out there who is rooting for you harder than me, and you should be rooting for yourself in the same way. You know what you need to do to fix your life, to fix your health, to fix your mental health, to fix your habits. You know what it is. You just got to start small, do something for yourself, small steps, keep going, don't give up, keep improving. Don't let any of these motherfucking naysayers, these negative pieces of shit psych you out. This is your life. Get it done. You know you have to change and actually fucking do it this year. Okay? Whatever help you need, I'm here for you. I have plenty of things going on that could help you. Okay? And I give plenty of advice for free. Okay, that don't involve my programs or other stuff I have going on. Hit me up, DM me, let me know what's going on. If you're on the job, I do custom fitness and nutrition plans for every person in the department for free. It's part of what I do for work. And I don't get enough requests. Okay, not nearly enough requests for those. Okay, I'm here. Please, get that shit done this year. Do it for you. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you for joining me on the Notorious HFL Podcast. Out with a bang. Happy New Year. See you next year. See you next week. Love you. Bye.